that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. They find some open field here. On a nice burst there as he'll take this inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
First down, going to the air with Love. That ball complete to Isabella. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Andy Isabella, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Packers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point up and good by Crosby. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They are guarding against the upset.
Second down, Cousins. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception.
And it'll be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Vikings. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Nixon now from his end zone. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Nixon now from his end zone. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago and threw the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. None of that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Love. Throw right side. This is into the hands of the tight end, Tunyon. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 56 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. On 1st and 10, Love. And he is going to go down. They sack him on the final play of the first quarter. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
He's going to try and go deep again. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Here's Jones. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Offense running back out here, and you remember last drive was pretty quick, about 10 seconds, Charles. One play, very long pass play that ended in the end zone.
And you know every offensive unit, when that happens, they want to come running back out and recreate it. We know the chances of that are slim because now the defense is on high alert. But at the same time, that confidence should carry over into the start of their next drive.
On play action, Cousins. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. It's Kingsley Enagbare finding a way in to bring him down.
Traditionally, as a defense, your #1 job, stop the run. But in today's football, it's impacting the opposing quarterback. Make him uncomfortable. And so far, they've not been able to do that.
Not at all. He's been really comfortable in the pocket. 3 touchdown passes already.
So that could be an important first sack if they do want to turn things around.
That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. 3 first-half interceptions now, and Charles, you'd have to think a fair amount of concern is developing over there on that sideline.
And there should be, because essentially he's been a little loose and possibly reckless with the football here in the first half. Now, maybe it's not all on him, but still 3 interceptions. That puts the entire team in jeopardy. So the play caller from here on out got to design some throws for him that he can complete, keep it away from the defense, and try and get him back on track.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. To throw, Cousins. He'll fire it deep for Reagor. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Reagor, 73 yards. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright, and it's no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the... And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Well, these defensive coaches, they sure like what they've got in this rookie corner. And with good reason, as you saw there.
He only cost him a day 2 pick, and a lot of people thought he had first-round ability. But when he was available on draft night, that was one where you didn't need the full time to make the selection. You call that pick in early, and he shows why he was so coveted with that interception there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Play fake. Cousins. Rolling. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Making that play on the pass rush. That's Devontae Wyatt.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. And, Charles, you think about what this defense has had to prepare for. They're in for a battle. I mean, they're facing a team that is working on a 6-game winning streak.
And that can be intimidating when you think about it in those terms, but I think what they need to do is make some sort of a statement early in this game, whether it's a turnover, a takeaway, a key sack on 3rd down, a 3 and out. Something lets the other guys know that you mean business. Figuratively, throw the first punch and make it a good one.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. This is caught. Touchdown. T.J. Hockenson, 26 yards. And the Vikings are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Joseph connects on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown.
The Packers take over first at their own 25-yard line. Okay, ready?
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Love's throw here taken in by Isabella. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in the defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween, and you take...
Jones hit and the ball's out, but it looked like a Packer. Yeah, Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league?
And how about this, a fake? And this is caught, and he will not make it. They stop him short of the first down. Boy, that's asking a lot of your punt team there, and they were not able to deliver.
It's asking an awful lot of the punt team there, because if it's 4th and 4, 4th and 3, you've got a chance, right? That's a manageable distance to try and pick up when you're running a fake, but when that number's actually been in the weight room and it's pumped up like it was, that's difficult to do, all right? So you might even think to yourself, if I left my offense on the field, would they be able to pick that up? You could run a nice play and not get that distance.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
But we all know the guy carrying the ball is going to get the credit both in the stat line and probably in the newspaper. But guess what? Those guys creating holes, they couldn't feel better about themselves right now. Offensive line, tight end, probably even the wide receivers are involved. They're moving the ball well.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. He'll fire it deep for Rager. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. And this will be taken at the 13. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Okay, right.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is... And my goodness, another interception. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it. I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
2nd and 5 now. Cousins. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And, Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And, Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still, 3,000 yards, a good season.
They'll run with Cook. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets them back now for 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
They try again with Cook. And he is going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage. The defense holds here on the final play of the half. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, it's hard to imagine the first half going any better for them, CD, and now here as they begin their first series of the second half. I mean, they scored here. This one, it's pretty much out of reach.
We honestly might already be at that point, partner, because this team, they were dominant in the first half, continue to be dominant now, and I think they're viewing this as a put-away drive on their way to a lopsided victory.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Tariq Carpenter. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well, so where's the line between being aggressive and
under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Zadarius Smith in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Throwing on 2nd and long. Love, that's complete to Lazard. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And now here is another interception. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game. But that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, come back and try and pick it up on third down.
Looking downfield for Jones. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this third quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And the Vikings pick up the football. On the move past the 40. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Joseph now to have the PAT. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. And they'll accept that penalty. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they are going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive a head coach crazy.
Without a doubt. But for the defensive guys, once you do it once, you create a frenzy. Everybody wants to get involved, and they got it done a second time.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around.
And my goodness, another interception. Andrew Booth picks it off. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And, Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Love back to it here after the pick 6. That's complete to Dobbs. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Love. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And that flag accepted. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Throwing after the interception. Love. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their own 44. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And some room to maneuver. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. Ezra Cleveland, the guard, called for the penalty there. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now it's 2nd down throw. Here's Franks. That'll be caught. It's Rager. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. They'll go with a touch pass here, trying to pick it up.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover.
And now here is another interception. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Count them now, 6 interceptions between last week and this week. Now, the 3 picks last week helped them to a win. They're in the driver's seat once more.
And they're the ones that are doing all the leading, aren't they? Right? The 3 interceptions last week, that led to a victory. 3 interceptions so far in this game, that has them out in front. We often think of the offense driving things. In this case, it's the defense, not just holding teams, but creating big plays for themselves.
A good down to possibly take a shot, and in fact, they'll come up with an empty backfield on 2nd and inches. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. He has enough for the first down on the keeper, a gain of 6.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 49 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. But it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover. He's got a man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Jordan Love ready on first down here. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And that is incomplete.
Partner, they've been aggressive, airing it out all game long, and no better evidence than those last 2 snaps. They weren't going to beat this coverage, though, 2 plays in a row, and that one falls incomplete.
On 2nd and 10, Love. He's going to launch this deep for Watson, and he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. We've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Jones on the return. And that is going to do it for this third quarter.